just acting our age. Just acting our age. We're too loud, we're too proud, we're too high to come back down. We don't think, we don't plan, we stay as long as we can. As long as we can. We got the rest of our lives for the rest of our lives. And the rest of tonight for whatever feels right. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. One day we'll look back, just shaking our heads. But right now we're too fast to slow down, just slow down, just yet. We're doing it our way, just acting our age. Just acting our age. Just acting our age.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Both defenses need to find a way to make crucial stops as each offense comes in ranked in the top 10 at converting on third down. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Bills. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, we've got a good Week 5 matchup in store here between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. One receiver to the left is Evans. Winston now to throw on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Throw left side. McCaffrey's got it. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Jameis now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. And Jenkins is a guy in this offense that I know you like to talk about.
Absolutely love to talk about Austin Seferian-Jenkins. His ability to play in any position, whether it's as a wide receiver or as an inline tight end, his versatility, some of the best in the league.
You even gave him the full name there.
Austin Seferian-Jenkins. He is the real deal.
To throw, Winston. And complete over the middle, Seferian-Jenkins. They'll get a couple yards on that one. And just like that, it's third down. Defensively, starting lineup for the Bills and a disruptor on the line, certainly Shaq Lawson.
Loved him during his time at Clemson. Really, really liked him when he played in the national championship game because he wasn't 100%. He'd gotten hurt in the game before and found a way back onto the field and made a difference.
He's got his man on the crossing route. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28.
And that was a heck of a shot right there by Jameis Winston. Boy, he has a superior right arm, doesn't he? You saw him play baseball.
Yeah, he's actually a switch hitter in baseball. Outfielder and then, of course, a very hard-throwing pitcher. That's translated well in the National Football League.
That it has. When he has to make that throw on a line, he's got plenty of arm to do it.
First down, Winston. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. To the air again with Winston. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. That catch good for 5. It's third down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. Winston on 3rd and 2. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. 4th down, Winston. This will be caught at about the 3. Give him 23 yards on the pickup. And the decision to go for it pays off. They've got a 1st and goal.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rubbed their nose in it. They'll throw again, and Winston lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
A lot of teams love to throw screen passes. They want to tire out defenses because they make them run a lot. But there are a lot of moving parts on a play for an offense when they call that one. You got the linemen that have to move. You got the wide receivers have to get out and vacate. You got the running back that's got to make a little fake and then get out into the route. And of course, the quarterback, he's got to hold in there and know he's probably going to take a big hit before he lofts the screen off to the back. Why didn't he catch it? That's all he needed to do for them to be successful.
And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. And his kick is right there. It's good, and the Bucs take a 3-0 lead. So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. On the ground they go with the running back. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
He's going to look deep for Watkins. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Here we go now.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. At 5 yards on the play there, and the drive will continue.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there are more people there to get him down.
Back line it up, Philly. Here we go. Set. Green, 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Bills in possession. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out. Defense really showing respect to the deep ball here, playing off the receivers. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it down to the 32. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
All right, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 30. Gun.
And they'll run it here. And he struggles to get a yard here, maybe a yard, down to the 31. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And Parkey's kick is good. And the Bills are going to tie the game at 3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive only yields 3 points.
Yeah, they were able to move the football, but the defense stiffened once their backs went to the end zone, and they were able to hold them to just 3.
This will be fielded at the 8. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
bashed
that. Super toe. When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does, because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
A first down throw for Winston. Over the middle to Evans. 10 yards on the pickup there, and that'll be good enough for a Tampa Bay first down.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him. And there's a completion to the tight end, and look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. On third down, Winston. Is this intercepted? It is. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going deep here for Watkins. It's caught at the 10. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes, just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2.
Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Detroit!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to Buffalo after this. A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal.
Detroit!
They'll set up to throw. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Sammy Watkins with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Bills have taken the lead. 4th and goal. The defense needed one more stand. They couldn't get it.
I just wonder if they were thinking heavy run here in that situation instead of being able to play the pass, and they were beaten on that possession.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. 13 yards there on the pickup, and it'll give the Bucs a first down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here's Winston. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And that'll bring up second down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. On second down, Winston again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 23 yards on the play.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now first and goal.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
Again, it's Winston. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on 3rd and goal. 3rd and goal. Winston dancing to his left. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Their dangerous wide receiver as the first half is winding down. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying up this football game. And he'll put it through, and that evens us up at 10 apiece. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And here come the Bills. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Here we go now. Gun.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Trying to lay one up deep. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Just get out of there.
Ready.
Final play of the half here, Winston. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And that is incomplete. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, where Larry Ridley has our EA Sports halftime report. Larry? Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
Here we go now. Green 3.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw here. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
5 yards to gain here on third down. Watkins alone on the left side.
Set. 3-19. Over.
Out of the gun now on third down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. Back to throw now on first down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it. And they're 6 yards away from picking up the first here on second down.
And they're going to go soft on the corners.
Here we go now. Blue line.
They'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That coach is always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass.
Blue line. Blue line.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
One of the things that's really difficult for an offense is often identifying how to block a 3-4 defense. Well, when they're coming on a blitz, even more difficult. They're elusive targets and hard to hit.
A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You drop in 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. First down, Winston. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. From the red zone now, Winston. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
On second down, Winston again. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Give him 6 on the screen, but now it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Still in search of the first down after that last completion.
Extra DB on the field for the Bills here on 3rd down.
Yeah, maybe thinking pass. Jameis to throw it. He's got Evans. And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Mike Evans, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bucs are going to retake the lead. And he puts it through. The Bucs ready for the kickoff. And here we go. It's in the air. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And the Bills getting set to go. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended receiver, and it's second down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit and it forced an incompletion.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Back to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball. Back now in Buffalo. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first.
All right, now look at 56. Here we go now. 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw to the sideline, and oh, a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Here we go now. Green, 30. Watch him now. 40, 40.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. It'll be a gain of 9, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. Now handoff as they run the counter play. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
So we've got a 2nd and 5. They come out here in the eye. They'll look to throw here. Finding time. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. In the red zone this time. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
Here we go now. Blue Lightning. Blue Lightning.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Buffalo touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And how about that, giving us our 5th lead change of the game? It's been back and forth.
No doubt about it, and right now, they're ahead, but they can't relax at all because if we've had 5 lead changes, I'm kind of betting on a 6th.
Yeah, we might see a 6th. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby.
Naturally, we're going to say it was a poor pass, but the defensive guys say it was just a great play by them. They broke on the football, picked it off, and gave some momentum to their team.
And a great spot to start this drive from here.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, Green
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. His throw caught at about the 5. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. And there they went crossing route against his own defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. It's their quarterback with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Here's the Bills kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. And last time, 1-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a 1-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give him a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one. Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible. One of the great coaches said football is a really simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
Throwing again, Winston on second. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And his kick is indeed good. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. All right, so now then, the field goal puts you back within 1 score, but I'd be surprised if this is not an onside kick coming up.
Yeah, you've still got the 2 timeouts, but I think you're right. I think you roll the dice right here.
And the Bills are going to recover. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to fight his way. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. 4 yards remaining now on second down. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. And the offense in that middle ground here on third down. 5 yards to go. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
All right, partner, despite my eating habits, I'm not big enough to play offensive tackle, nor am I quick enough. But with the defensive ends nowadays and their speed, those guys have to be able to punch and dance, and it's a tough, tough job to contain them.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. The Bills send the punter out, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Ronald Darby. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. And the Bills offense comes out ready to take over. They have the lead. Still a one-possession game, but the defense got the stop. They've got the football now. Just salted away, right?
Exactly. That's all the defense is counting on from their offense. They did their job in a big way. You know, they're over on the sidelines now starting to take their tape off and, hey, we've done this thing. The offense has to put it away, and that means ball security.
Absolutely. Stranger things have happened. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.